Michael, do you want to do roll call, please?
District 1.
Here.
District 2. Here. District 3.
Here.
And I'm here, Chairman.
Yeah, whatever. Next up is approval of the agenda. Approval. Any deletions or additions?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add a wider council resources signatory request for youth deer hunting regulation.
Okay. And then also gonna add the parcel.
That is on land agendas.
Oh, it is? Okay, good. They're both on.
Mr. Chairman, under new business, I'd like to add discussion of a treatment center to start looking into the cost, where we could put it and all that. I don't know if everybody's in agreement, but you know, we're having way too many ODs, and it's about time we make a move on it, I think. Miigwech.
Anything else?
Yep. And it should have end on it. You gotta add that to new business. Did you do it? You gonna add it?
Yeah, I'll add a now Bay and Dodge to the agenda.
Proposal.
When I talked to Adam, he said he was gonna hold off. Did he change his mind?
He's here.
Okay, miigwech.
He's here with his lots.
Anything else? Motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Eugene,
Second.
second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is the meeting minutes for 7/12/23 and 8/3 of 23.
I read them, Mr. Chairman. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Annie, second by Michael LaRock for the meeting minutes of 7/12 of 23 and 8/3 of 23. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up is Elders Council, Elders Commission. Pam, do you have a little update or?
Do have a little.
Okay,
bit,
thank you.
And that's with the White Earth Elders Commission.
Use a microphone.
And I just want to say thank you for assisting us in getting through the process of that election to fill the seat. We were finally able to get a clear winner on Tuesday, and so Rebecca McCready, and we're good to go. So thank you for that. What some of the things that we've been working on have been, I talked about this tab to populate on the website. Just read like headlines of the services that we offer for elders. I have a copy. I thought I might see Monty today, but you know, okay, thank you. Is it on?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay. So I have that, and what it is just brief, like I said, headlines and contact information for elders. No applications, you know, they do need to go to the programs to get further information, but just a one-stop resource for elders and caregivers. The other thing that we have is we have an email for the commission, and I believe that Emily has access to that because she is an RBC employee, and it's easier for her to access. And then we've made a couple purchases. We were able to get a laptop through the RBC IT, where they had one and they will, expense it back to our budget. We also have a printer that we're going to order through White Earth at Ojibwe offices. And then, and maybe some printer supplies, but those things will be owned by the commission and I believe under the title of Alicia Bellinger. It doesn't stay with us, it goes with the commission. We have, this is another issue that I think I brought up before, and it's a community member had brought to our attention that there were very few Shooting Star employees at the elders picnic. And we have 56 plus White Earth enrolled elders at Shooting Star. And they don't have the same privilege to take the day off or take half a day off. And so I just want us to keep that, in mind and see how we can make that a bit more equitable so that Shooting Star employees can attend the next or Christmas party without being, without it, they have to use PTO. Okay, so they have to plan ahead and make sure, and nothing wrong with planning ahead and saying, supervisor, I'd like to take the day off tomorrow or half a day to go to the elders picnic. But something a little bit more equitable and easier for those elders. We have the NCOA conference coming in at the end of the month, and I want to thank Sarah LaFay, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, but she's been a big help of booking the hotel and the airfare for us because, again, we're not close to the finance department, but I've been able to communicate with her by email, and she has gotten all of that done for us. So we're really grateful. We had a discussion about adding off-reservation representation. So urban or Iron Range persons to the commission. And I must say, I'm in favor of the off-reservation representation, but I don't have a vote. So our committee was very persuaded that it just wouldn't fit right now. And so that is something actually that could be an amendment, and which would be at the privileges of the tribal council to decide. But for now, we have decided not to pursue that. And we're going to invite the tribal attorney, Veronica Newcomer, to our October or November meeting because we have a couple of questions that are unclear for us, even though we've read through the bylaws and had our interpretation. And one is about the positions that would be up for election next year and how that would work. So we're going to just, meet with her and at least get a little bit more clear about how that would work. We have an idea, but we're not, I guess we're not feeling like we're the experts at those bylaws. And we are having a meeting in September at one of our members' residences. So we're going to work on our status report for the tribal council. That's all I have right now. If you have any questions, thank you for inviting us.
Thank you, Ben. Just a couple of things. I did talk to Scott Stevens. I was going to talk to the Shooting Star staff about planning for some events that you guys could be able to attend. So, you kind of hit the nail on the head by saying that planning is what needs to be done, because Europe is the Shooting Stars to the business side. So it's really hard for them to either give days off or else if they have to take PTO, but planning is always key, I believe. in this year. So if you know something's coming up a month in advance, I think you can talk to your supervisor and your supervisor will make it available for you to go for it, for the employees here to go, especially to an elders picnic and things like that. So I think just with planning, I'm glad you guys are actually looking at that now. So, but you got to understand that our business side, it's not as easy to give them days off on a business side, especially if somebody's filling in. You might have to trade a day for a day or something like that. I think we talked about that a little bit. So the other thing is that we, Executive Director Lori York had brought it to our attention that the elders under the judicial code, there's supposed to be an elders panel. So what we were thinking is with the tribal councils maybe blessing that we'll either have to change the name of the commission to a panel, or would have to change the judicial code to add the elders commission to it. So we wouldn't have to have three different entities. We'd be able to have the two still. So just I want to give you a heads up on that we'll be looking into that. We'll have administration look into that and see how we're going to do that. So to get that rectified. So, and thank you for your report. So.
Miigwech, thank you for that. Next up is old business. We have nothing in there. After that, we have new business. We have Annie, you want to talk about a treatment center?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't know how you guys feel, but I think it's about time we start looking at one and seeing, the feasibility and how we can go about getting one here. Our people are being shipped all over the place. There's never no beds. And, when a person wants to go to treatment, it's now. We can't wait a week later, because then that feeling goes away. If they're ready in the moment, we got to try to get them in the moment, because otherwise we're going to lose them. And, when I attended that SUD conference up in Fond du Lac, the thing that really hit me was a statement that somebody had made, is that we're losing a whole generation, which is true. I mean, look how many we've lost. And, I'm really scared to lose any more, and the deaths are just hitting me real hard, as I am sure it is with all communities and all tribal council. So I think, we should start looking at least getting some plans, some numbers and stuff like that, so we can move forward. Miigwech.
Thank you, Andy. No, that's something that we could look at, I think through our SUD programs and, through our directors. And I know Director York and Curtis can probably get a team together to look at maybe hiring contractors to do some feasibility and find out what's available real estate in the area if we're going to do something like, do something like that. And that's something I could probably say a few words on. So also wants to say a few words or.
Yeah, thank you for that, Annie. I would be in support of it. I mean, we'd have to find the dollars to start a feasibility study, and I think we should be able to do that. I know before I was on council, when I was a public safety director, I brought the same thing to the last council and saying we're nothing but spinning our wheels, and we're talking about it. Well, we talked about a detox facility for years and it's never came through, but now we have an opportunity to do a detox center. And also our next presenter, the company that's coming in, I mean, he has a lot of knowledge also with getting help for our people. Not only just we got to do something. So I think it's time for us to act. Miigwech, Annie.
Yeah, Miigwech for that, Annie. I support you, and I guess I'd just be reiterating what Secretary Treasurer was saying about our detox center and everything. But yeah, I support you, and I think this conversation would be good to have in one of our debriefings, so we can bring in our directors to give us the best advice possible. So Miigwech.
Oh, Miigwech, Annie, for that. That's a long time coming. For me especially, that's my background. And I've been chomping at the bit, many years of how and when we can do things better for people out there that are battling, you know, any kind of addiction. So you got my back, 100%, 101%. So be good for that, Annie. Think we
I just
have,
want to, yes, I just want to say Chibi you guys, because this hits me really hard, and I'm sorry I'm like getting teary-eyed, but just miigwech.
Which, thank you so much. I would just want to give you all maybe a little bit of a history lesson. Can I have maybe 3 minutes? It's nice that we're supporting. I see that you all are supporting each other, supporting Annie and her idea, but I would like to know who's supporting the people. The experts are the people. And the history lesson goes like this. People were getting opioids, Oxycontins for a broken fingernail, easily set out by the doctors, and then they got smacked on their hands. The pills got pulled back. The people were not able to get those, but the addiction was already set in to their bodies. And then all of a sudden, the heroin jumps on the scene. Overdoses everywhere. One every month. Now it's what, one every hour, maybe? And so it went from the pills to the heroin and the overdoses and then the fentanyl and all of that coming in. We see that. And it's great that you're supporting one another, but I would like to know who's supporting the people, and we could let those people who are in addiction speak. And we talk about treatment centers, but what are we going to fill them buildings with? Even in the urban, they ask for millions and millions of dollars, but what are you going to put in there? Are the people feeling comfortable? Is there any holistic healing, looking at soul healing? I've been talking about the soul for many years, and people might look at me like I'm crazy. And as we move forward and looking that we are in the prophecy times right now, like Gertrude Bakanaga said in the mud meeting the other day, I don't think she'd mind if I quoted her. She said, you all are doing the white people's way of doing things. What happened to our traditional values? Something to that effect. So I just wanted to let you know that the people are hurting and they're dying every second. And it's great that you're supporting Annie. And Annie, thank you. That conference must have really hit something with a chord with you, because every day our people are dying, every single day. But do we care? Do we feud? Do we worry about our egos or this or that? I won't say lateral violence another time. I mean, right now, but please, please, please look and know what lateral violence is. I just said it twice. There's a solution, and it's called lateral kindness. It's about compassion, and it's about our traditional values. And know that Kichimani does everything we do. Everything. Miigwech. Ask the people.
Thank you, Tammy. That was awesome. We do have staff that are very caring and go out, and, you know, we can't force people to get the help they need. I wish I had more time to, you know, get out there. And last night I seen you there last night, and that was beautiful. I got to talk to all the ones that are out in our men's acute care, and I mean, you know, and just tell them, you know, one day at a time. That's all we can do. And I told him I'm proud of all of them. And Mr. Chairman was there, and he also said the same thing. We are working on that. We've been working on that, and I think you're going to see some improvement here in the months to follow. And I thank you for your words, miigwech.
Thank you, Andy McGrich. Thank you, Tammy and council. Next up on the agenda is Anishinaabe and Dodd.
Take a look. Wow, they brought a bunch in. I don't have the battery. I don't know if that's. Is it okay? Let's do it.
or charge station. For that started.
Morning, Miigwech, Abhijay Indigenous Cause, Makwa and Dudane, Kawakan, Kagan Dunjaba, Kawakang and Dad. Everyone, I'm Adam Fairbanks. My traditional name's Abhijay, which is Pine Martin. With the Bear Clan, I live in Minneapolis and White Earth tribal member. I'm here today to talk about a proposal for acquisition of 2 properties here in White Earth that I've been working on developing for the last several years. We purchased the first property in 2020. And at this time, living in Minneapolis, it's just not feasible, especially with the complications of fentanyl, the increase in mental health needs for the people that we're providing housing to. And so I've made the difficult decision to sell the properties and the business. So Anishinaabe, we currently provide housing to Native American men in recovery. We offer culturally specific Native housing for homeless individuals with mental health disorders. Our focus is on promoting stability, recovery, and community to facilitate long-term life changes through providing culturally specific housing. Our current, excuse me, our current program up here in White Earth is 2 fully furnished properties. We have a 5-bedroom house in Minoman, and we also have a 4-plex in Waban with 9 bedrooms. Across the 2 locations, we have 14 bed capacity. We also within Waban have a 1/4 acre that's currently nothing on it next to the property. We have a grant application in for that to build like a culturally specific garden. Looking at 3 sister gardens, and we have a whole design. Now through an acquisition, we did talk to the grant funder for awarded to transfer that to the tribe. But it would be up to you guys on what you want to do. I know there's been some interest in building new, so that might be a potential piece of property that you guys could build on. We are 100% fully occupied. We do have a wait list. There's a significant permanent housing as well as transitional housing. I have a full-time housing case manager, Lucas Siskin. He's here. He's MCAD certified, which I'll talk a little bit about the benefits of that. We do have a proven track record of receiving government grants. In the last 12 months, we've received $189,000. We've received 100% of the grants we've applied for since we opened in 2020. So what I'm recommending to the tribe is slightly different than what we provide. The recommendation is really designed to create a transitional housing model that bridges the gap between existing tribal residential treatment, specifically men's acute care, maybe Oshki Manaju, and the newly developed permanent supportive housing that you have Waco and Minoman. So the objectives of this recommendation is to promote stability and reduce overdoses for people transitioning from institutional settings, which, you know, as I'm talking about here, would be residential treatment. Help clients establish housing readiness and prepare them to live independently. So currently, if you have people that graduate from the residential program and they go directly into permanent housing, there is a gap there where we really should be helping people to prepare to live independently. And that independent living can be provided in these properties because we have kitchens, we have, you know, basically fully furnished properties where people can receive independent living skills and learn how to, you know, take care of their place, to you know, manage their unit if they were to move into Waco, which is a studio apartment, and you know they're going to have to be responsible for taking care of that and abiding by a lease. It also will increase third-party billing revenue and improve coordination and access to tribal services for clients. Currently, we do provide some services, and it does a great job. But we don't have the same services that White Earth Nation has. So the chemical dependency treatment services, the mental health therapy, the mental health targeted case management and arms services, peer support, the list goes on and on of the things that you guys have. And it's going to be better coordinated, in my opinion, if it's all under one roof. Also, this would potentially implement a third-party billing reinvestment strategy to increase the tribally owned transitional affordable housing portfolio. So because of the need, because of the wait list, and because you have 32 beds, both, at men's acute care, and I'm not exactly sure how many you have at Oshby, but it's a lot. You need more of this. You need more transitional housing, and you need to be able to help people get ready to move into the permanent housing in Bemidji, whatever you're going to call those apartment buildings that you're working on, as well as the 24-unit studios here in Menlo. So at the bottom of this, you have basically a transitional housing flow chart that just kind of shows how somebody could flow through from the men's acute residential treatment to Anishinaabe transitional low intensity treatment, and then Guaco permanent supportive housing. So the specific recommended services are designed to promote independence by providing freedom and flexibility while also maintaining moderate accountability. So when people are in residential, there's a ton of accountability. People's lives are scheduled. All their needs are taken care of and provided for them. In this model, which would be low intensity, light touch, there would be, potentially peer support groups, but not all day groups, perhaps light groups or shorter groups that would then allow people during the daytime to be able to go into, and get enrolled in schooling and like I said, do the independent living skills so they can get ready to move into permanent housing. Also, mental health diagnostic assessments are really important. I know the tribe has a waiting list currently for those, but there are other agencies that could help support the diagnostic assessments. So every client would need diagnostic assessment and receive the mental health targeted case management and armed services. Therapy is another one. We do have folks who apply for our housing and who are living in our housing that need significant mental health or intensive mental health services. So I do think that that's critically important with this type of a model. And then also random drug testing. If it's a recovery and sober environment, making sure that people are abiding by those expectations, I think are really important. And I recently saw a project in Seattle where they were doing that, and it was, I talked to, felt it was really important. The revenue forecast for this is really looking at 4 different revenue sources. So 2 of which are the tribal encounter rate, currently set at $654 per encounter per day. So the SUD encounter, 5 encounters a week, 14 clients, comes to 3,654 encounters, for maximum potential revenue of $2,389,000. Mental health revenue, looking at 3 encounters a week, 14 clients, 2,184 encounters a year for 1.428. Room and board is 1,185 per month under our current model. That's 12 for 12 months, 14 clients, 100 clients, which is about 200. And then for housing services such as case management, you're looking at 168 payments per month, or sorry, across the year, and that's 81,000. The projected annual maximum revenue for this project would be for about 4. The transition plan, so we would work collaboratively with you all to ensure all regulations and protocols are met. Contract sale will be developed based on this outline and any additional analysis required by Anishinaabe and White Earth Nation. Anishinaabe and will provide director level support to ensure the following are met. In the first meeting, we would review current policies and procedures, determine final service model, and develop an acquisition transfer plan before September 8th. Meeting 2, if applicable, depending on what you decide to do with it. Train property manager to process housing support rental assistance benefit paperwork on or before September 22nd. And then by September 29th, final walkthrough, transfer of property and resources, closing on the sale. If you guys wanted to implement the substance use disorder services, like I mentioned, Lucas, who's here in the audience, has the certification required in order to deliver that service. He is interested in staying on and helping the tribe to complete this project. They would ask that you guys honor his wage. And then we would work to incorporate him into the role during this transition process. This resource would continue providing support to existing clients, transferring leases and working with management to establish the revised program. Bringing to White Earth, just in closing, bringing White Earth Nation's considerable experience or expertise in resource that's proving culturally specific housing model. We have a lasting or will have a lasting and positive impact on the lives of our community. The acquisition of Anishinaabe NDOT will further demonstrate and enhance the tribe's commitment to supporting tribal members in their dependence and self-sufficiency. Adding this program to your portfolio offers an opportunity to address a critical gap in services while increasing overall revenue for the tribe and access to housing for our community. The final closing date that I'm asking for is September 29th, 2023, which is 30 days from now. And then the business valuation, we have at 800,000, which based on the pro forma that I have here for you, could be achieved with this.
A big question, Adam. I think our next move would be, to take a look at, get our behavioral health director and get some of our directors in for, our next briefing would be this coming Tuesday after Labor Day. So what we would do is we would sit down with our behavioral health director and some of our other directors and start talking about this and coming up with a plan. I personally do support it because I think it's well needed. I hate to see it go, but somebody's got to pick up the ball. That's the way I look at it. So, but I can let you know that we will take a serious look at this on Tuesday. Our directors, and I'll be talking with our CFO to see where we're sitting at as far as finances. I know the behavioral health. We won't make any promises today, but I'll just let you know that we will be talking about it on Tuesday, and we will be. And I like the what do you call it, the outlay of it, and you have a final date and everything like that. So that kind of puts a clock on it for us to be able to move on it. So I appreciate your presentation today, which for everything you do. I don't think there's one.
Yeah, I really like it, Adam. But yeah, like we need to, have our directors look over it, make sure that the, programming would be plug and play. And yeah, I like how you have your flow chart and we can add services in there, and I think it's very doable. Yeah, I would just, I can't make a decision now until I get the director's opinions on it and everything. So, but it looks good.
Yeah, thank you for this, Adam. You just actually came forward just the other day with that and come up with this. Is awesome. And like I say, for me, and the work that I did in my career, this would be number one for me, just like the treatment center. So, like I said, I'll get up there and bat, and we'll see what we can do. And I want it done. So, but I'm only one person. So,
Okay,
Yep, Miigwech. It was good meeting with you yesterday, Adam, and you got my support and I'm, just like Henry said, I'm for it but I guess now there's two people. So Miigwech for your time, Adam.
Say something pertaining to this?
Got the microphone.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you all. Adam and I have history from the homeless situation and us helping out or trying to help out with Powderhorn Park after the riots, after AIM Patrol. And so I have history with Adam. And the last time that we spoke, he promised me that we could have a talking circle and it would be really great. And that didn't happen, Adam. And then we talked again about that and that didn't happen. What I would suggest is for all of you financially, mentally, spiritually, to find out what happened to those houses in the city and why they are not running. And if the clients, if there are any success cases or anything like that, why they're closing or why you are not keeping them open, and were they beneficial to those participants that you say you encounter? So every encounter is actually a human being.
Point of order.
So every dollar sign you put is actually one of our relatives.
And
So I would highly suggest that you look into, what, if you could explain maybe what happens to the houses over there. Thank you, Adam.
point of order.
yeah, Commissioner.
May I respond?
Go ahead. You can. What do we do?
So this proposal has nothing to do with Minneapolis. We do have.
It has everything to do with the way that you bring your services and the.
Sure. I just want to clarify, this has nothing to do with Minneapolis.
True matter.
And we do have open properties in Minneapolis. One is leased to the Indian Women's Resource Center for women. And the other is for men on Queen Avenue in North Minneapolis. And those are open and they are good.
Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Next up is the consent agenda, signature request for ratifications for August 31st, 2023, including ratifications for congregate housing. I'll read them off. Relative affiliation agreement between White Earth Mental Health and Liberty University. SPIP amendment, target opioid use and misuse prevention grant, acceptance of peer delivery overdose education project, initial grant for award for COLA, VIE school operations grant, fiscal waiver request letter, White Earth infant and toddler center variance request, MIAC grant amendment, child care license renewal, a White Earth family treatment, fourplex, septic notice and award, Nato Wash Health Center change order, White Earth family treatment remodel, White Earth child care masonry, Ridgeway Avenue demolition project, Monoman Head Start bus garage change order, Elbow Lake Village Community Center, Architects, Ridgeway Apartment Building Assessment, Jack Hall Acute Care, Phase 2 change order, White Earth Child Care Protection Community, Basketball Courts Notice of Awards, Wabanogama, White Earth District 435 School Nurse Contract, Circle Life Academy Nurse Contract, Money Follows the Person Tribal Initiative, SWIFT Contract Amendment, SF 424, Diabetes Treatment Prevention Grant, letter of support for White Earth Trumbull Community College, second preference business located off White Earth Reservation, USDA grant 2024, cleaning contract with Made in Bemidji, FHPAP contract, OEO shelter grant, emergency services program, DLI contract, transitional housing program, business license renewal request for White Earth Housing Authority Operations Ordinance Resolution, Research Review Committee Members Resolution LLCs, a memorandum between MR, CTI, and three tribes, Monoman Soil and Water Conservation District Resolution, Minnesota Early Teal Season Ordinance, EPT, PIRT grant, sub-award agreement with the LLCRM, grant solutions agreement, cultural monitoring contract modification, Minnesota grant contract, letter of support from IHS district engineer, letter of support IHS for funding, water and sewer building addition, rehab contract, weather trouble headquarters safety plan, MnDOT partnership work order 1, ratifications as fiscal waiver letter requests, money follows first person initiative, SWIFT contract amendment 2, SF 24 diabetes treatment and prevention grant, letter of support of Whitehurst Community College, USD World Development Facilities application letter and support, WAHE initiative, Apex Engineering Services contract, and Whitehurst Nation versus the Drug Corporation. And the last one was the youth fishing hunting regulations that we added to this. Council, any discussion on these? Ask for a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman,
Hold
Yeah.
on, Chuck.
under ratification, I just
Under what?
wanted to,
Under ratifications. Okay.
under ratification, I just wanted to do a clarification. The one says money follows the person. That was a letter that was supported. The ratification does not apply to the resolution. The resolution would come through today, but not under ratification. And that would be the same for the letter of support for the Whitehurst Tribal Community College.
Okay.
The letter of support was approved through ratification, not the resolution. The resolution would come through on the signatory side.
Thank you, Lori. Okay, motion to approve. Okay.
Chairman, under Public Works, the sub-award amount for LCCMR grant, I have a question about that. Can we move that into executive session?
Yeah.
Let's move that into executive session. So I'm kind of wondering why that's under Public Works.
Okay. All right, motion to approve the consent agenda with the changes.
I just want to make a comment, Mr. Chairman. You know, these come through the day before and we need time to look through them. I was reading last night and into the morning and, you know, it's a lot to read, especially these contracts. So if we can even get them as they come in or, you know, a week before, so we have ample time to read through them.
Be good. Motion to approve with the changes.
All motion changes.
Motion by Mike with changes.
Second.
Second by Eugene, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries, thank you. Motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Motion by Eugene. Second by Henry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. I appreciate everyone for joining us today on our meeting. Be safe. Enjoy the weather. Be welcome.